Hello, my name is Jessica. Welcome to my channel where creativity comes first. Today I'm going to be doing 3 looks with my Impressionism palette from Musee Beauty. I will also be giving you some swatches and a review. But before I do that, my fun fact about myself for today is that I love having short hair, and I have loved it for the past 7 years or so. Ever since I cut my hair into my first pixie cut, I am always drawn to those hairstyles. And once my hair gets around this length, it really starts to get on my nerves. So even though I get compliments on it, it's still going to be cut off soon enough. All right, let's get into the 3 looks and tutorials, and then we'll come back for the swatches and review. Okie dokie. So this is how I created the first look. First, I dipped into the shade Amaranthine and ran that all along my crease and just continued to build it up. And then I went in with the shade Haystacks along my outer V to create that winged out shape that I like so much. And it took me a moment to figure out what I wanted to do, so I just kind of did some blending. And then I ended up just taking Haystacks all over my lid as well as a base for Scintillate. So once that base is down, I picked up Scintillate on my finger and just popped it all over the lid and kind of into my crease. Since I just got like these whack eyelids that are always creasy and annoying and got a million folds in them, I just kind of put shimmer everywhere. Super structured looks don't look great on me because of my folds. Anywho, then I ran Haystacks along the lower lash line and blended it out with some more Amaranthine to create just like a colorful, grungy, smoky vibe. And on the inner corner, I popped the pink shade called Water Lily and connected the top and bottom. And there we go. I was too lazy to do the whole face, so that's what you get, folks. Okay, in this look, I started with the shade Dancers, which is this gorgeous pumpkin orange, and I ran that through my crease on a fluffy blending brush and kind of made like a little winged out shape at the end. And then I went in with the shade Water Lily on my inner corner and into the crease, and I did the same thing on my outer V. And I left an open spot in the middle for the shade Sunrise. Then I went in with the shade Poppies and just kind of created a little powder, little wing moment. I like to take the powder from the bottom lash line and then to the outer V to create that shape. And then I just blended it all along my lash line and just kept at it, you know. Then on the lower lash line, I took the same shade and I created like a halo shape. So I left the middle portion open and I put the shade Water Lily there. Then on the inner corner, I went in with more of the shade Water Lily, I believe. And then I think once I put that down, I topped it with Wisp to make it a little bit more shiny. And then I took the shade Wisp on my brow bone as well. Okay, I actually did a full face for this one and thought it was super cute. If you want product details, the second and third look are on my Instagram with more information. Okie dokie, the last look. First, I started with the shade Parasol, which is a super cute green, and I ran that along my crease, obviously, and then I darkened it a little bit with the shade Undergrowth. Then I went in with the shade Haystacks to create kind of like a graphic liner along the crease area. I made it kind of thick. Yeah, it's a thick boy. And then we went in with the shade Almond and made that outer V wing shape. I think I said that for every look, but it's facts is what I did. I'm really annoyed that I just said facts. Anyway, once I did that, I took the shade Starry and popped that on the inner half of my lid. And then I finished off this look by popping the shade Coast on my inner corner, and I brought that just slightly below on the lower lash line as well on the inner portion. And here is the final look for look number 3. So the first row is Haystacks, Giverny, Arles, and Dancers. The second row is Amaranthine, Water Lily, Sunrise, and Poppies. This third row with the blues is Scintillate, Coast, Almond, and Starry. And the last row is Wisp, Parasol, Verdant, and Undergrowth. All right, let's jump into the review of this palette. So again, this is the Impressionism palette by Musee Beauty. They are an indie makeup brand based out of Austin, Texas. They were started by 2 sisters who are about college-age young women, and their slogan is "Made by Creatives for Creatives." They really like using makeup to express themselves and thought it would be cool to combine art and makeup and create a brand that is all about using makeup as art. So as you can see, this palette is inspired by the Impressionism movement in art and heavily by Monet. They have some water lilies on the front, just like Monet has his famous water lily paintings. Let's see, let's jump into the pros and cons of this palette. I'll start with the cons because I always like to get the bad stuff out of the way first. Now, I really don't have any true negative thing to say about it, but I have a few nitpicky things that I'm gonna mention. So the formula is amazing. Okay, I'm already going to the pros. Anyway, like everything about it's amazing. It's a great formula. It's pigmented. It's blendable. It's great. However, the color story is very close to a true rainbow palette, but they're missing yellow and purple. And for someone like me who loves color and would love to just have every color accessible to me in a palette, especially when it's like so close to having all those options, I feel like they could have redesigned it a little bit to include that. So for me, in my opinion, if I were to redesign this palette, I would get rid of Scintillate, this shade right here. I actually think of all the shades in this palette, that shade is the biggest dud. Like, it performs okay, but it seems like it's going to be more special than it is. In the pan, like, it looks more shifty and special, but on the skin, it kind of just looks like it can't decide if it's a topper shade or if it's like an actual shimmer that's like opaque. It's kind of in between, and you can see I used it before, and like I kept digging into it to try and get a lot of product. Since it is that kind of in between opaque and translucent opacity. Anyway, so I replaced this shade, which is kind of a dud, and I would put like a lilac purple there. And then I think we have enough variety in the blue-green department where we could maybe take out one of these shades and put a yellow in there. Especially like I would leave the mattes because they're really phenomenal. I like these 2 different greens, and this blue is amazing, but I get rid of one of those shimmers, probably between the green or like the aqua, and then put a yellow in there, like a nice kind of like standard butter yellow. And I feel like that would really round this out as a rainbow palette, and you could create even more unique and colorful looks, which is what like their brand is all about. That being said, the formula is incredible to work with. I cannot express how easily the mattes blend and how opaque and creamy the shimmers are. It's really, really a joy to work with. So if you like the color story and $42 is within your price range, then I definitely recommend this palette. I think it's completely beautiful, and I do like that they have a good range of neutral shades. They're really beautiful on the eyes as well. You can create some nice like bronzy looks if you want to use this for a neutral palette as well. All right, so that completes my overview of the product. I hope that you found this video a little bit helpful. You know, maybe give you some ideas, give you some information and whatever. My husband's making lots of noise in the background, so that is a cue for me to wrap it up. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are at in the world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, and be kind to yourself and others and stuff like that. Okay, toodaloo.
What are you asking?
I'm asking if I'm in the frame. Oh my goodness gracious, Roberto.
Yes, of course.
I just meant you looked at me like you forgot what I asked you to do. Boobies?
Half boobies.
Half boobies. Okay. Did you just realize you were eating loudly? I know, it was funny though, because you were eating loudly before, and I was like,
Okay.
thank you, love. Appreciate it a lot. Ashley, could you just give me some baby wipes? Thank you.
They smell like piss.
Ew.
She loves me not.